Good morning students, welcome back for the third session of class 12 geography. As we have done in last two sessions, we were doing the chapter human geography, nature and scope. We have already finished one topic, that is what is human geography, and we had started the topic nature of human geography. We'll continue with that topic, that is nature of human geography. The nature of human geography, as we had discussed in the last class, can be studied with the theories of determinism, which we have already covered in the last class, the theory of possibilism, already covered. Today we are going to do neo-determinism, which is also known as stop and go determinism. As you have seen in these two theories, the deterministic approach speaks about naturalization of humans, and possibilism speaks about humanization of nature. This new concept, which was given by Griffith Taylor in 1920, states that we cannot follow deterministic approach, neither we can follow possibilistic approach. So what should be the approach of geographers? Geographers should take the approach which is the middle path of this, that is in between determinism and possibilism. We have to choose being wise or being foolish. We cannot keep ourselves deterministic in approach, because otherwise we'll remain primitive. We have to continue the process of development, and with the process of development, as we utilize the resources, and slowly and gradually while utilizing the resources, we have seen, and it has been estimated by the geographers, you can see the time period in 1920, they spoke about that we cannot keep on doing development process. We have to stop the process of development somewhere. We have to draw a boundary, we have to keep limits. It should be within the boundary of limits. Now, why do you think he must have said this? We all know that today agricultural land is expanding day by day. We don't have much land left. With the growing population, we have to adjust with the limited land which is available to us. Moreover, the fertility of land is exhausting day by day, because we are utilizing so much of chemicals and fertilizers that to increase the fertility, we are losing the natural fertility of the soil. Second thing, the natural forest. Do you know how much forest cover a country requires? It is 33%. And we Indians have only 23% of forest cover in our country. The way we are cutting down the forests because of the process of industrialization, we are not only destroying the ecological balance of our earth, but also we are going to lose the habitat which is there for so many different kind of species on earth. Third thing, because of this process of development, it has been seen that each and every country is rushing to start industries in such a pace that day by day the industries are increasing in each and every country. The result is there is ozone hole in atmosphere, that is the stratosphere layer. And what happens if there is a ozone hole? It's going to be very harmful for human health as well as for other wildlife. So we have to be very conscious regarding the utilization of resources, which we have started doing tremendously. Rather we are exploiting the natural resources. We don't know that these natural resources are not renewable. They are exhaustible. We have to think judiciously while utilizing these natural resources. For example, one geographer has commented that in developing countries, 1.5 billion people are without the availability of safe water, safe drinking water. It's not available. So you can imagine the plight of human beings on earth. The coastal areas, if you talk about the coastal areas, we know the coastal areas of a country are very important from economic point of view, because they are the places where we see the ports and harbors, and most of the cities, they grow near this coast. So slowly and gradually the population has increased tremendously in those coastal areas, and the result is not only we have started destroying the marine life, but we have also increased pollution to that extent that the mangrove vegetation, we are losing mangrove vegetation, we are causing harm to the coral reefs. So in this way we can see how much we are going to harm the nature. We are the emission of greenhouse gases, which is causing global warming, which is causing melting of ice, drowning of coastal areas. All this is happening only because we have gone through the path of possibilism. We have not stopped the development process. We have not created a boundary where we need to stop. So Griffith Taylor's approach of neo-determinism speaks that we should choose a path in between these two theories. We should go for sustainable development. What is sustainable development? So basically this theory speaks about one very important term, sustainable development. Sustainable development means utilize the resources judiciously. So the first feature is judicious use of natural resources. And second feature, do not harm the nature. Because all these natural resources also belong to the future generation, which is going to come and enjoy these things. So the question comes, who is the one who is utilizing these natural resources? Man. Who is causing this environmental degradation? Man. Who is going to repay the price? Who is going to pay the price for it? Man. Who should take out or start measures to correct this? Man. So man should start taking initiative to choose a path in between naturalization of humans and humanization of nature. You will find an example in the textbook. While going through the chapter, you will find the example of traffic signals. It believes that man is a driver and nature is the path on which he is driving. He has to respond to the signals. Where he sees a red light, he has to stop, because we cannot have free run. If we will go for it, we will have accidents. So the gist of this discussion is that neo-determinism speaks for a middle path in between naturalization of humans and humanization of nature. So this is the three theories which explain the relationship between nature and man, how man responds to the nature. We will start the next topic. The next topic of this chapter is evolution of human geography. It means how human geography developed over the years. If we see the journey of human geography, it has developed in stages. It started its journey from somewhere around 1400 to 1800. Many geographers believe that it was the period of colonial period. Some also say that this was the period of age of discovery. During this period, the methodology, the subject matter of geography was not very clear. The most important feature of geography during this stage was voyages and exploration. For example, the voyages of and explorations of Vasco da Gama and Columbus in 1492. So basically, European nations, they wanted to know more about the earth. So the feature was just to know the land features, just to know beyond the oceans, beyond the seas. Now during this period, you will find that there were many nations who had some societies, organizations who were sponsoring all these voyages. One very important, the Royal Society, the Royal Geographical Society, formed in 1830, is one of the most important society which used to sponsor such voyages and explorations to know the earth, to know the new lands. And you will be surprised to know that this society even sponsor the exploration and voyages today. So that was the most important features during this period. Then we come to the next period that is often known as the post-colonial period. In the post-colonial period, because already they had started moving to different directions, they were trying to find out new lands. Now they wanted to know about these lands. And then comes the concept of regionalization. What is regionalization? Regionalization means as we study the earth as a whole, the world as a whole, instead of studying the earth as a whole, we should study the part of the earth as a segment. Example, instead of studying the continents, nations, countries, states, or an area. So geography, as Trevor has said, the geography is the study of a region. So here comes the word an area, which refers to regionalization. Then it was the period of between First World War and Second World War. During this period, as we have already, geographers made it a little clear that what they have to do in geography, they have to study the earth. Instead of studying the earth as a whole, they have to study a part of the earth in general. For example, if we are talking about India, so the first thing is location. It is located in the northern hemisphere. Second, climate. It is a tropical, subtropical location, subtropical climate. Natural vegetation, tropical deciduous forest. So this was all in regionalization. During the First World War, when people they started talking about regionalization, they thought what should be the approach of regionalization. So they talked about that the approach of regionalization should be areal differentiation. As the word suggests, areal differentiation, it means how an area is different from the other area. So they wanted to know about this concept was basically to know about the uniqueness. Because geographers said each and every unit on earth is not similar. None of the features, whether we talk about the landforms, we talk about the climate, we talk about the natural vegetation, the soil conditions, nowhere you will find one region similar to other. They said that each region has something unique in it, and that uniqueness you have to identify. After identifying the uniqueness, you have to think about human development in that region. Here I would like to give one example. What do you mean by uniqueness? We all know that the best wine producing countries are France, Italy, Spain, and Germany. Do you know the location of these countries? They are all located surrounding one important sea, that is Mediterranean Sea. These European countries are located surrounding the sea. This region, because they are very close to the Mediterranean Sea, they have a Mediterranean climate. The features of Mediterranean climate is they have short summer season, where summers are not very hot like India, they are rather pleasant. And they have rainy winters. The world's best climatic condition is known as the Mediterranean climatic condition. Now, because of this pleasant climate, it is famous for growth of grapes or citrus fruits. So this region, which is encircling this Mediterranean Sea, are famous for viticulture. What is viticulture? That is the growing of grapes, the science or the study which deals with the growing of grapes. So this region is unique because of its climate. It can grow citrus fruit. So we find that the growth of wine industry is very popular. The best wine comes from this region. So that is what they talked about. That in areal differentiation, we have to find out how a region is different from the other, how it is unique from the other regions. Then comes the fourth stage. This stage had seen the development of quantitative revolution. This is the period of quantitative revolution, that is from 1950s to 1960s. Here we all talked about or described the features which we see around us. But if you remember, in class 11, we have studied that geography is one such subject which has close links with natural science as well as social science. What are natural science? Natural science refers to the sciences such as botany, zoology, geology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, statistics. So geographers, they were not happy about the growth of the subject in this manner. They said, they believed that geography cannot be ideographic. The study of geography cannot be ideographic. It should be nomothetic. Ideographic means only description about the area. Nomothetic means it should have a scientific outlook. We should use mathematics, we should use statistical techniques to describe something. Or the spatial differences which we see around should be described with the utilization of maths and statistics. So this quantitative revolution period saw the emergence of statistics, that is collection of data, analysis of data, interpretation of data, organization of data, and then coming to a conclusion. For example, we talk about the population pyramids. What do you know about the population pyramids? Population pyramid tells you about a country's age and sex structure, and it also gives you an idea about the economically development or the development status. For example, if it has a wide base, it means this country's population among the children is very high. So the country is still in the process of development. It's a developing country. But if the structure is like this, it means the country is developed, number of children are less, the birth rate is less. So population pyramid is a part of quantitative revolution because they have collected the data, they have organized the data, they have analyzed the data, and then they have come to conclusion that with the help of these pyramids you can talk about the status of population in a particular region. There are three more stages which we will be discussing tomorrow. So today we will stop our discussion with quantitative revolution. I would like to repeat once again: evolution of human geography. Evolution of human geography started with the period of discovery. During this period, the subject matter was not very developed. It was in an embryonic stage. This period, the main feature was exploration, voyages to know the earth. Trade relations increased. People wanted to know what is beyond there, and so that they can start trade. Then the second thing was regionalization, to know about a particular region. Then they started differentiating one region from the other with their special characteristics. And then there was a drastic change in the study of geography because the ideographic method of geography suddenly was changed to nomothetic idea, that is, it should have a scientific look, because we cannot forget that geography should explain cause and effect relationship. We should take the help of maths, statistics, and today computers, as you know, is really helping the study of geography in a large way. So this was all about regarding the evolution of human geography. Thank you.